just a small shift of focus. Instead of focusing on who is my enemy, we focus on who is humanity's enemy. And once we start focusing on that question and the tricks of Satan become clear and apparent, then we can do that which is best for humanity. We could do that which is best for humanity because we are free from the system of control that Satan had put on us. And when we do that, we win the battle of wits that we talked about. So everything is connected. It's everything you could think of is part of this, because this is the puzzle of life. This is what everybody's trying to seek, the truth. This is the truth, right here and right now, that Satan has taken us as an intimate enemy, and he has been fighting us, and that started from taking us from heaven, and before that and after that, killing our forefathers. You understand the level of power this guy has, and he's been doing that to us on a much bigger scale. Until now, he has us enslaved to a system that does not serve us and does nothing for us as humans. He made us forget who our true enemy was. Once we shift to that focus point, who is humanity's enemy, and realize it's Satan, then we can build a system that is better for humanity as a whole. Good for everyone. Because humanity has no reason to fight humanity. We only need to fight our enemy, the enemy of humanity, which is Satan. And all that is connected to the mark of the beast. And all that is connected to the Dajjal, and all that is connected to a whole bunch of other things. Everything is connected to everything else. And in the Bible, it says about the mark of the beast that nobody can buy or sell without having the mark of the beast. And we live in a system designed by Satan, but in this system we throw money into a train that is, goes to the top of the mountain to the rich, and is controlled by Satan. So there's no doubt we live under systems that does not benefit humanity as a whole, and really does not benefit anybody. Anybody who is human does not benefit. Even the rich, they don't realize what they could have if we get rid of Satan and his tricks on us, by outwitting him for the first time. If we believe that we can outwit Satan, that we're not powerless like he wants us to think, then we realize what is the mark of the beast, which is the system that we are under, that we cannot sell, buy, trade, or do anything except within the confines of the system. And his mark of the beast is of course 666, and that is everywhere. You see that sign everywhere. Not necessarily the 666, but the 666 implies his presence all over the place. So I understand how everything's connected. It doesn't really matter. In the end, what really matters is, do we focus on our real enemy and that which is good for humanity, or do we focus on how to further destroy humanity? Because we could only be doing one or two things. We either help humanity or we hurt humanity. And the only way to help humanity is by freeing humanity. We have to be free, truly free of the tricks of Satan. This is all in our mind. This is all programming of centuries and millennium that he had and been applying on the human race. And we could get rid of these thoughts and come up with something better for humanity, because we are not stupid, we are not useless, contrary to what he thinks. We can outwit Satan. We can do that which is best for humanity. We could figure this puzzle out. So once you realize that the system as a whole is the mark of the beast, and it's on everybody because everybody has to use it, then you start asking how to be outside of the mark of the beast. And the only way to be outside the mark of the beast is to work within the confines of it and build the upper movement, as we have discussed before, by building a system that benefits the people rather than the system that benefits Satan. And once you do that and start building upon that democratically and without even arguing with anybody, we build on that until it is big enough to take over. Once people realize that doing what is good for humanity is actually good, and people start, really using that to their advantage, then the potential is huge for everybody. The innovation, the structure, the level of knowledge and wisdom humanity can reach is beyond any measure. And it is time for us to realize that potential by a small shift of focus. Who is humanity's enemy? Is the only relevant question right now. Who is humanity's enemy? Once you reach the conclusion that humanity has only one enemy, Satan, and he turns humanity against itself, then you start focusing on your enemy rather than on focusing on how you could defeat yourself some more. Once we do that, we get rid of the mark of the beast. Everybody will prosper. Everything will be perfect. Also, of course, the system that we live under is the one-eyed Dajjal, which is the one who sees everything with one eye, no matter what happens. Look at what's happening in Syria right now. A single nobody is killing thousands and tens of thousands, and humanity as a whole, all of us, we can put a stop to that. Why are we so powerless to do the things that are right? Why do we just stand and watch? There is a reason we've been programmed. We've been programmed to think we are weak. But we learned that working together, what can achieve for ourselves. We just never really thought on the level that we need to think about, on the level of humanity and what is best for humanity, because the struggle from the very start was a struggle between one man and one evil entity called Satan. That's where it started. Satan continued in his war, and he continued to wage war on humans, and humans never really responded in any way except, okay, yes sir, whatever you want. And they were doing exactly what Satan wants, and they have been doing that for a very long time. So imagine the level of achievement and technology that humanity would have achieved had they used that time, instead of fighting each other, working with each other, and build on that until we get to nowadays, and you will realize the huge potential for humanity that was lost because of Satan. And then you start to think, okay, what can we achieve if we are free of this satanic system? and how much blessings and happiness we would get by defeating Satan at his best. All that is possible. All that can be done with a small shift of focus. We are focusing on the wrong thing. We have to focus on the big question, which is, who is humanity's enemy? You focus on that question and you get in somewhere. So once we do that, we make a big enough system and we get rid of the mark of the beast, then we are free. We get rid of the Dajjal, which is the one-eyed, and he's supposed to melt. So he melts. He's like a computer system. He's like a disease. This is Satan's system. It will melt. Once we open our eyes, it will melt. The mark of the beast can be defeated. The mark of the beast can be defeated. We can't just stand around. We could do all this, and we could do it with our wit. It is essential. It is the only way to do this. Is to do it with our minds, with our hearts, with our wits. He outwit us out of heaven. We have to outwit him now. This is what's going on. We have to outwit Satan right now. Only one way to outwit him, to work within his system to create another system. Outwit him. Outwit him. Be aware of his tricks. Know what he does, what he's capable of doing. Took us out of heaven, killed the first two, one killing the other. This is the level. Now imagine it on a level of 7 billion. Look everywhere and see everything that is happening, and Satan has a hand in it. Not to mention all the systems that he holds in place simply for the torture of humanity. Just look around you at humanity. Has humanity achieved any of its potential? Why are we fighting? What are we fighting for? What did we used to fight about? You understand? For what reason? What did we achieve with that fight? As humanity, what did we achieve? We got weapons, more weapons, more weapons. What did we achieve? We could have had all that if we needed it. But why would we need weapons if humanity is working with itself instead of against itself? Why would we need anything negative? You understand? Humanity is humanity's enemy because Satan had turned us. This is what he always does. He turns half against half. He tries to do as much damage as possible, and he wants the one to kill the other. This is evident. This has happened before. Cain and Abel. And he's been doing it ever since. And that's what he does. Once we start putting one small piece of the puzzle and another piece of the puzzle, and we put the puzzle together again, we have a long way to go from putting the entire puzzle together. But once it is put together, I promise you, I assure you, that once you see the whole puzzle, then it will be perfectly clear for you. And once the puzzle is complete and you could see that it's a farm, for example, and you know it's a horse, and you know it's a cow, and it's a chicken, and somebody, Satan or anybody else, come and tell you, well, this is a very nice puzzle of a ship or of a tanker or of a airplane or whatever it is, you would say no. You would laugh at him. You're like, well, you're ridiculous, you're stupid. This is a puzzle of a farm and we put it together, so it's the mystery is gone. And this shift of focus is going to solve the mystery for all of us. The only reason that everything bad that happens is because we are losing badly in a war that we are not even fighting in, but where war is waged against us and has been for millennium. And until we wake up and start fighting back the forces that fight humanity and its potential, then not only would we not survive, we could possibly completely annihilate it. I mean, the options at Satan's fingertips are humongous. Let us not leave him with any options. It is up to us to save humanity. This is serious stuff. It is up to us to save humanity, to deliver the promise, to do everything that is good. It's a wonderful time to be living in, because this can be done. This can be achieved. By working together, ask the right question. What is best for humanity? We have to spread this message to all our friends. We have to spread this message all over the world, because the struggle that we have is a struggle between humanity and Satan. And it is not a struggle between man and man, man and woman, or humanity pinned against itself. We have to wake up and realize who our enemy is and help spread this message. May God bless you.